Then we move on to our last step. The last step will be to monitor. We'll have an action plan at step number 4. So at step number 5, we are going to monitor. And then once we monitor, we will now evaluate, still at step number 5. And then we'll communicate. We are doing so much, but it has come to a point that we need to monitor. Before we can monitor, that means that we have achievable targets. Before we can monitor, that means we have a plan. We have set goals for ourselves. And having done that, it gives us room for us to evaluate. And then having done the evaluation, we now stand in a position to communicate through the various communication channels to our stakeholders. And within all these, there will be stakeholder engagement to enable us make the impact we are seeking to make. As we came out with, we are going to do all these. But that said, if we are to achieve all the sustainable development goals, more needs to be done. And we, College of Humanities and Social Sciences, believe that through these 5 steps, where there will be recognition, where there will be opportunities, and where there will be principles embedded within our core mandates, we can achieve all these. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. A round of applause, please. Thank you. Just so you know, if you have not visited any of the exhibition stands in the various colleges, units, and departments, you have missed out. There's been really some fantastic and phenomenal exhibitions across. All of these have been documented by our media team. I'm sure there'll be an opportunity to send a link for you to have a look. There's a lot going on the university, and it's important we document these. We are going to be taking the registrars and administrators, then we'll come to the College of Health Sciences. So let's put our hands together for Mr. Kwame Yabua. A round of applause, please.
Thank you very much, Mr. Moderator. Good afternoon, colleagues. As registrars of this university, we believe strongly we form the fulcrum around which the SDGs are being implemented and are going to be implemented. And over the last 3 days, colleagues have met, we've received in-depth understanding of the SDGs. The meetings we had brought to light what the Registrar's Office is currently doing and some of the activities that are geared towards achieving the SDGs. Some of these, among others, include the university's food and clothing bank for students, which addresses SDGs 1 and 2, no poverty, no hunger, which was established through a memo from our outfit. The university's work and study program, that is to mitigate the extent SDGs 1 and 2, is also under the coordination of the Registrar's Office through the Deputy Registrar and Office of the Dean of Students. Through the Admissions Office, the university is admitting more students from less endowed schools. Through the General Administration, the Registrar's Office's a conducive environment, working environment, is being provided to meet the SDG 8, decent work and economic growth. Through the Human Resource Division, the university is employing more female staff to balance the male-female ratio. This goes to meet SDG 5, gender equality. These and many more were identified at the Registrar's Office's contribution to achieving the goals. The meetings, however, noted that the offices can do more to achieve these SDGs. It is worthy to note that as registrars, our core responsibilities are administrative, advisory, and managerial. The following strategies were suggested to make the SDGs a reality in the registrar's offices. First, the SDG 1, no poverty. There is a need to sensitize staff to contribute to food and the clothing bank that we have in place. We advocate for students and community members to be engaged in university farms. On the 2, no hunger, registrars should be encouraged to adopt poor and needy students. And here the word adopt is in quotes, just to take some students as our own, those who are in difficulty, so that we can assist them. For the 3, SDG 3, good health and well-being, registrars at the university health services should ensure that regular medical checkups and screening are conducted for staff, students, and community members. Also, sensitizing and educating on health and wellness should be incorporated in all our meetings organized. On quality education, introduction of more short courses to increase access to quality education, and also to prompt for regular review of our curricula. On gender equality, we must promote affirmative action, that is ensuring that the underprivileged are encouraged to have some specific programs that they are not, under normal circumstances, they won't be offered. On clean water and sanitation, educational campaign on proper hygiene, coordinate the proper training of conservancy workers. On affordable clean energy, SDG 7, registrars must set an example of ensuring that there is a cautious use of electricity, switching off air conditioners, fans, lights when not in office, etc. Constant advocacy for the university to convert waste into renewable energy. On SDG 8, decent work and economic growth through the HRD, we must ensure equal reward systems to commensurate work done. Industry innovation infrastructure, SDG 9, we're thinking we must challenge department units to engage students and staff in industry. On 10, reduce inequality, the registrars must continue with affirmative actions in admissions. The registrars also should ensure in the various divisions that there is improved accessibility for students with disability, including when examination timetables are drawn. On SDG 11, sustainable cities and communities, advocacy and community engagement to educate people to be conscious of the environment is advocated. Enforcement of various policies and programs by the university and other stakeholders. On 12, responsible consumption and production, we as registrars are of the view that as secretaries to committees with a mandate to organize, plan meetings and events, we must ensure that balanced meals, including fruits and whole grain snacks, are served. On SDG 13, climate action, more efforts should be put into greening our environment. The general administration must also continue to ensure that the university is kept clean and safe. On 14, life below water, we are advocating monitoring to ensure that farming activities on campus are regulated and encouraged to use sustainable farming to safeguard water bodies and save the lives in it. We are also advocating a disposal of water waste that should be regulated. On life on land, SDG 15, there must be a holistic education on the environment. Also, there's a need to lead the development of botanical gardens into ecotourism sites in conjunction with the Department of Biology. On SDG 16, peace, justice, strong institutions, we're advocating an enhancement of awareness of university bylaws during orientation. The Registrar's Office should also ensure strict enforcement of university policies. And on 17, we're advocating an educational policy through MOU. So in all these, as I indicated earlier, the offices of the registrar as the fulcrum around which all the SDGs are to be implemented. We promise to do our best to ensure that these SDGs are promoted and done the way that is supposed to be done, so that in the end, the world will become a better place for all of us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. A round of applause. So the registrars and administrators were at the Gardner conference room, and when I passed by this morning, the breakout session discussion was intense, and IFWA would not let anybody get up. In fact, they were having clusters in there. No wonder they covered all 17. Another round of applause, please. Definitely, there had to be gender balance. With a round of applause, let's welcome Dr. Ama Amwesi, College of Health Sciences.
Thank you very much, Dr. Gia, moderator. Good afternoon to everyone, all protocols observed. The vision of the College of Health Sciences is to be internationally recognized as a premier center of excellence for teaching, for research, for training in medical, veterinary, pharmaceutical, and biomedical sciences, so that with this mandate, we are able to provide high-caliber medical professionals and scientists to support the sustainable health sector industry in Ghana and the rest of Africa. This, we believe, as a college, is embedded in the university's vision to be among the top 10 universities in Africa. But to achieve this, we need to currently move from our 12th position by fully embracing all the 17 SDGs and their 169 targets, which we, as College of Health Sciences, are ready to do. In addition, part of the university's mission is to improve the quality of life of all its students and members. And this, we believe, is highly correlated with the College of Health Sciences. And we have come in to make significant contributions with our expertise towards fulfilling this mission. Over the past 3 days, we have deliberated over the theme for this year's summer school. And we have come up with over 50 strategies that we believe can help us attain the strategies that would make the SDGs a reality. But because this would be in our report, we want to just make mention of 5 of these specific actions. The first one, development of health products, that is, drugs, vaccines, and diagnostics for Ghana and the sub-region. And we are happy as College of Health Science to let you know that there are 2 clinical trials currently on COVID-19 vaccine, and KNUST, in collaboration with KCCR, is the facility or the country or the institution that is happening to run these trials. We can give it up for KNUST. Secondly, entrepreneurship drive through collaboration with other colleges and schools in the university. For example, after these drugs and vaccines are made, we can collaborate with School of Business, for example, to promote our translational research and scale up for profitability and sustainability, thereby achieving the SDG Goal 8. Thirdly, the creation of viable and competitive health and biomedical research environments for all. This will, however, require significant investments in human resource and infrastructure. Fourthly, we want to encourage media engagement with regard to visibility for the College of Health Sciences and the larger university community. This will increase the chances of attracting fair funding for research for the university, quality students not only from Ghana, but also from the sub-region and all over the world. This visibility also serves to relay information to the ordinary Ghanaian, improve acceptance of the university, confidence, and legitimacy. Lastly, increase community engagement by students and lecturers. We believe that in spending more time in the community, it would help us as lecturers and also as students to understand the community better by identifying the challenges they face in meeting the SDGs, so that in our work, in our study, and in our research, we can contribute to addressing these real-world challenges. In conclusion, health is a cardinal issue to human development, and the College of Health Science has a big role in helping the university to achieve this vision by fully embracing all these SDGs. And in doing this, we promise as a college that we will not leave anyone behind. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We now go to the College of Art and Built Environment, after which we go to the College of Science. A round of applause for Dr. Stephen Techi, College of Art and Built Environment. A round of applause, please. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Moderator, and good afternoon to all participants. I'm standing in for my college provost, Professor Tiabugri, and the chairperson of our committee, Dr. Titus Kofi. From the perspective of College of Arts and Built Environment, in one of the presentations, Dr. Owusu Ponsa noted in his content analysis that since 2016, there has been over 1,000 publications in the college that is geared towards the Sustainable Development Goals. But what is the issue? The issue is that the works, the teaching, the service that we do at the college, in as much as it's geared toward the Sustainable Development Goals, it's not consciously shifted towards that direction. So participants at the college agree that there is the need for us to shift from the unconscious approach to the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals to a conscious approach. So these were the main things that were recommended. It was agreed that the college need a clear strategic direction that will help achieve the Sustainable Development Goals through the implementation of a college Sustainable Development Strategic Plan. And in that plan, it should cover the following themes. The first one is to look at partnership and collaboration that will help actualize the full potential of the scholars, researchers, and lecturers in the college. So, for example, there are already works by our architects on how to come out with eco-friendly designs. In the planning department, our design principle is focusing on aesthetics, sustainability, and efficiency. Our colleagues from the arts are already coming out with materials, recycled materials, to produce beautiful artistic work. So the partnership aspect is supposed to bring all these talents together in order to help achieve sustainability. The second point that was highlighted at the participant at the college was the fact that there is the need for us to leave the sustainability discourse. This is what we mean. Instead of only teaching students on recycling, there is the need for the college and the university as a whole to actually start practicing approaches of recycling. Instead of teaching students the need for tree planting exercise, there is the need for us to take active part in the tree planting exercise. In fact, a participant even asked, if every student at first year is made to plant a tree, every year, how many trees will KNUST produce? And it's important to note that the Green Ghana project, that it was done nationwide, actually started from the college, where we initially planted 300 trees before the nation embraced it. And this year, 5,000 trees were planted. So we felt that we should give a strategic direction to these activities. After leaving the strategic dream, we also look at how can we provide leadership in the sustainability discourse. We are responsible for mentoring the next generation of experts. So the college plans to put in place measures where we can train the best generation of experts who embrace the sustainability and the sustainable development discourse. We also saw that a lot of things are going on, but the communities that are our targets, there is a gap between us and them. So in the strategic direction, we recommend that there will be a clear-cut communication plan which will bridge the gap between the college and the community members. Yes, we already do community engagement, but there's going to be a strategic focus on the SDGs. Also, there was a proposal to publish an annual report of sustainability where we could have, for example, sustainable city report that assesses the sustainability of major towns within our country. Finally, we are also looking at the fact that going forward, there should be a clear-cut monitoring and evaluation system. Almost all the participants agree that it's difficult to achieve all the targets within the sustainability. But as researchers, we can play little roles by making sure that within our research area, we focus on that and build partnership to help achieve it gradually, instead of looking at the ambitious of achieving everything by yourself. So we look at our research area, build collaboration, and move towards. The final thing that came up was issue of research funding and funding for service and community engagement. So the participant recommended that there should be a clear-cut strategic direction with regards to funding for research and community engagement for sustainability. And it was recommended that the college should have a fund that will help promote research work, collaboration, and community engagement in sustainability. In conclusion, almost all the participants clearly noted that College of Arts and Built Environment, and for that matter, KNUST-TEK, is endowed with a lot of researchers. Therefore, our understanding of the SDGs should not focus on only the planned period of the SDGs, but we should move beyond that, partner with each other, address the complex societal problem, which is multidimensional, and which the Sustainable Development Goals helped us to address, and make sure we deal with it together. So we are not even looking at collaborating within only the department and the college, but we're also looking at inter-college collaboration and even looking at inter-university collaboration. This is so far what the discussion went at KABI. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Stephen Techi. So I'd like to do College of Science, then we'll come to finance. So a round of applause for Professor Caleb Frimpong. A round of applause, please. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. Making SDGs a reality in College of Science. So at College of Science, we identified some existing plans that promote SDGs at the college. Some of these plans include renewable and affordable clean energy, food processing, weather forecasting and weather-driven disease modeling, disease control and treatment, and production of indelible ink. We also identify some existing ongoing actions that promote SDGs at the college. They include computer surveillance systems that support SDG 9, COVID modeling team in partnership with Ghana Academy of Arts and Science, SDG 3 and 17. Then online purchasing applications and systems, SDG 13. Then gender equality, SDG 5. Currently at College of Science, we have the Whitaker Award supporting female in science and Western mentorship for female scientists. Then at the industrial level, we also have SLACO program at Fixes Department, developing research apparatus and equipment for science experiment at the second cycle institution. At the College of Science, we also looked at strategies to map up these existing plans and actions. The first one is to prepare our course objectives and content, which is geared towards the attainment of the SDGs. Then to set up groups at the college to target specific SDGs. Such groups include clean water, clean energy, sanitation, good health, and well-being. We also looked at documentation of all SDG-oriented activities. Then under the strategies, we also look at the establishment of Center for Data Sciences to meet the SDG 17. Then to establish a task force to monitor and evaluate all activities on SDG at the college. Then we also identify teaching opportunities within the SDGs for College of Science. They also include hands-on activities, exploring different approach and industrial attachment, problem-based learning, mindset change, award for students for innovative SDG ideas, then finally, entrepreneurship to create job opportunities. Then we also look at research opportunities within the SDGs for College of Science. We identified nutrition, solar dryer and solar cold storage, that's SDG 9, to solve post-harvest problems. Then converting carbon dioxide to formic acid as a hydrogen storage for hydrogen cars. Then zeolite water filters, also in College of Science, situated in Physics Department towards providing a clean water. Then mathematical modeling of traffic situations. Then modeling and forecasting of climate-driven diseases. We also identify some community opportunities within the SDGs for College of Science. Good health, quality education, clean water, and sanitation, sustainable cities and communities. Then finally, we looked at strategies to identify opportunities, gaps, and priorities within the SDGs for College of Science. So we realized that we can go on to outreach communities, outreach programs for communities, conducting seminars and conferences and workshops to educate the members in the college. Then recognition of staff contribution to community service in terms of awarding points towards promotion. Then designated resources to support community service. Then finally, creation of a database for health and safety concerns to identify and address problems. So this is what happened at College of Science. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Professor Frimpong. So we're going to finance, and then we'll move on to College of Agric and Natural Resources. Let's welcome Mr. Ntia. A round of applause, please.
Thank you very much, moderator. And thank you all for giving the opportunity. This summer school has really enlightened us with the finance, audit, and the procurement. The thought that SDGs are for the G10 countries and then for the sciences, we've seen that we stand at a critical role in ensuring the achievement of the SDGs. So at the finance or the professionals, we realize that to achieve the SDGs, it has a lot to do with money. So hitherto, our budgeting approach is going to change. We have resolved that we are going to budget in line with sustainable development goals. We shall incorporate them into our budgeting. And in terms of procurement and supply chain, we shall look at the SDG 12.7, achieving green procurement in a sustainable manner, ensuring that all our supply chain, instead of just taking VAT receipt and all those things, we are now going to look at your employment and how you are engaging other child labor, your gender, and so on and so forth in awarding contracts. Finance and professionals are also going to ensure automation. We are going to ensure automation of our processes to reduce waste. Toners, carbon papers, A4 and so on and so forth. We are going to go green payment. Ensure that all the payments are going to be done online to reduce wastage. And in terms of cost-benefit analysis, we are not going to use the least cost to determine. We shall ensure that the suppliers that we are selecting, they are also paying a decent wage to their employees. They are not cheating. We are going to take them into consideration. And we are going to think digitally also. We shall automate and digitize most of our activities to ensure that we deliver value for money also. And we know at the end of the summer school, we come out with a communique. We are pleading, if it is not incorporating the communique that the finance office, we are going to ensure a total reporting of sustainability information in line with SDG 12.6 in the public now. So we are going to report all the thematic areas, environmental, economic, and the social, on our website, because we know what gets reported gets done. So we have set ourselves, we are going to form a committee to come up with all the global reporting initiative standard GR indicators, all the 77, and then look at how finance can contribute, how we can report publicly, and that will also inform our colleges also to do more when we are also reporting. And at the end, we realize that as finance and procurement other professionals, in no way that our activities now will compromise the living standard of the unborn. And we resolve that henceforth we shall think sustainably, eat sustainably, work sustainably. May God help us.
Thank you very much, Mr. Charles Intia. So he represented procurement, audit, and finance. I am very keen to learn from Mr. Intia how sustainable working looks like. But a big part of the follow-up to this year's summer school has to do with monitoring and evaluation. And it will be interesting to monitor and evaluate all the fantastic ideas that has come up from here. So from Kana, we will be going to hospital. So let's invite Professor Chere Boateng from the College of Agriculture and Natural Resources. A round of applause, please, for Prof.
Good afternoon. For the College of Agriculture and Natural Resources, after listening to all the presentations and the outcomes of the various discussions, we asked ourselves two questions. And these questions were, one, how do we improve the quality of education in the college and also life on KNUST-TEK campus in the context of the SDGs? The second question was that if we turn this around, it becomes an objective. And what process do we use to achieve that objective? So this afternoon, I'm going to share with you the responses that we provided to these two questions. And that will constitute our idea about how to move forward with these SDGs. So to the first question, we had two answers. The first one was the fact that if you are going to make a headway, then we need a policy and institutional framework to guide what we do. And we are thinking of things like a communication plan, a strong industrial and other stakeholder linkages. We need a monitoring and evaluation framework. We need to have a champion or some champions. And we need to have incentives in place to bring people on board and to retain their interest in pursuing these goals. In the case of the policy, the university can take it up and get a broader policy for everybody. But in the absence of that, we are prepared as a college to have our own policy to guide what we do. And probably the university can learn from what we do and scale this up. Now, the essence of this policy framework or institutional framework is to ensure that the college becomes responsive to the SDGs and also accountable to its course, so that when it's available, then there's very little excuse for somebody not to act on them. The second answer we had for that question also is the fact that we should identify specific actions or interventions for all the 17 SDGs. And I think it will sound a bit ambitious. People will be wondering, why 17? Why all of them? The difference is that we are targeting the students and staff of the college instead of the wider society in this particular exercise. The SDGs have been with us since 2015, and as a College of Agriculture and Natural Resources, we've served the international community, interests of the international community, interests of the nation in various ways through the research that we do. So these things are not new to us. But you want to test an idea. You want to test this slogan that global goals with local actions can make an impact. You want to test this in this college and see how it goes and share our experiences with people. So now I take you to the second question, which is what process do we use to get there? We are using the outcome of this summer school as a starting point. Now from here, the recommendations that has come out of the group work and the various things that we have done will be turned over to a committee. And this committee will work on the semi-finished products that we are giving them. They will further engage staff because these proposals are coming only from the senior members. And we have other staff in the faculty who are not part of this. We want to get their buy-in. And we also have other stakeholders who are keen, who are watching what is happening in the college. We want to engage them as well and get their buy-in. So when the committee has done this, then they will submit their recommendations to the College Board for approval, but this is after these recommendations have been anchored in the college strategic plan, as well as the Vice Chancellor's vision and action plans. These are two important documents that are guiding what is happening in every college in the university. And so whatever that you want to do should be anchored to those guidelines. When we have an approval, then we are going to start with the implementation. And we anticipate that implementation is going to take place at the departments, research centers, faculty level, and the college level. So at various levels of implementation. We will then monitor, evaluate performance, and of course for improvement. And finally, we will communicate the outcomes and experiences to various stakeholders. And we hope that there will be a lot of interesting things to share. Probably for the first time, you have a small entity like a college trying to target all the 17 SDGs. How is it going to go? From what perspectives are they going to look at the issues? And how would they address them? These are all things that we think will come out of what we are going to do, going to be able to produce eventually. And with that, I end this presentation. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Professor Boateng. I have to tell you this. The College of Agriculture and Natural Resources probably had the most sustainable meeting venue. They put together the examination tables, 2 or 3 together, had a table cover. Almost every table had potted plants. You could see the thank you sign had a potted plant. And I'm sure if a student went by, they'll be wondering, are we having an exam here next week? It looks so nice. A round of applause for College of Agriculture and Natural Resources. We'll now go to the hospital, and then we end with UITS and security. So let's give a round of applause for Dr. Kwame Akresi from the hospital. A round of applause, please.
Good afternoon. Looking at this impressive podium, I must say it will be difficult to follow these accomplished gentlemen and ladies. But as a medical doctor practicing in the internet age, I tell you I have experience with being consulted only after Google and WebMD have failed to diagnose you or have predicted imminent death. So I will try my best to be last but not least. Representing my director, Dr. Seyusu Ansan, and my chairman, Dr. Abusechi, from University Health Services, or KNUST Hospital. It's been a very interesting experience, very insightful. We've had a lot of discussions over the past 3 days, and I must say it has been a very, very impressioning experience, especially at the University Hospital, where usually because of the nature of our work, we are so focused on treating the patients, we rarely take time off to see how the work we do affects the general populace or fits into the global goal of sustainability. And thus, after plenty discussions, what we've come up with is the following strategies to help contribute to the Sustainable Development Goals. Number one is, of course, SDG 3 is our core mandate, so we want to renew our dedication to our core mandate of providing excellent healthcare commensurate with global standards. And this is to be achieved through establishing residency programs, which have already started at our University Hospital here, to lessen the burden on the Konfanochi Teaching Hospital, to increase the capacity of doctors working at the University Hospital. This process has started already in obstetrics and gynecology, in family medicine, and it intends to continue with pediatrics, internal medicine, and surgery. This is to help us tackle SDG 3, especially the targets of maternal and childhood health. 3, strengthening the preventive health unit with increased number of outreaches and health promotion and education, not just to students and staff, but to surrounding communities, to export what we do, so that our focus is not only on the patients once they arrive to us at the hospital, but to extend a hand to the community to help educate them and promote well-being well before disease and infirmary hits. 4, introduction of digitalization, mobile health, and telemedicine. This, again, is to help us extend our reach, get the information out there, get education, promote better living and well-being to avoid disease. Prioritizing mental health care for university staff and students. An interesting topic that came up during our discussions is the increased frequency of admission for cases with mental health issues. We have seen that this has become an increasing concern for the globe as a whole, and it's finding its way into our culture as well. And we intend to tackle this head-on by partnering with the counseling units of the university, as well as our psychiatric units, to work hand in hand to promote and improve mental health of staff and students. Last but not least, we intend to partner and collaborate with various units within the university and outside the university, including, but not limited to, the Wellness Center. This is to further our quest for preventive health. KCCR, Grants and Research Department, School of Public Health. It came to our realization that we are a source of data, lots and lots of data. We see thousands and thousands of people every month, and we intend to partner with these units in KCCR, Grants and Research, and School of Public Health to help us conduct research, to help us improve our healthcare, provide excellent healthcare that is commensurate with global standards. Like the other units have said, we have also set up a committee to monitor activity and functioning of the university hospital, to make sure that our day-to-day functioning is aligned with the SDGs, to monitor and evaluate the outcomes of new strategies implemented, to make sure that at the end of the day, no one is left behind. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Do you have the representative from UITS and Security Met in Research Commons? Is there any representative here? All right, I'm sure we'll get them later on. Otherwise, a round of applause for our panelists here. Thank you very much. We'll hand over to James. Thank you very much. Thank you.
A round of applause to our unit heads who came to present, and also to the moderator, Dr. Dria. Thank you very much. Now, the affairs of this summer school was steered by two class prefects, one for senior member academic and one for senior member administrative. After the end of this session, their work comes to an end. But before then, they will need to hand over. And before the handing over, we will need to conduct an election in this session right here, right now. So I'll begin with senior member administrative. Any member here in the hall could raise up the hand and nominate. We are nominating a total of 3 people. We'll conduct an election, and then immediately we choose the class prefect for that group. We'll do same for academic, and quickly we conduct the handing over here. So for senior members, administrative, anybody could just raise their hand and nominate, please. Let's do this as fast as possible and finish on time. So who nominates who? I have been told I have the power to call out names for you to nominate. So I'll wait for a few seconds. If I don't get, I'll call out your name so you nominate. Senior members administrative. Auntie Sawa, would you please nominate any? Oh, what's Auntie Sawa? Okay, so do we have any nominations? Senior members administrative. Because of the mask, I can't see anybody. Okay, so senior, who are you nominating? Mr. Okay. Mr. Moses Chikwe. Good, thank you. So we have 1, 2 more, then we conduct the elections. Mr. Chasinsia, people loved your presentation, so nominate 1 person for us, I beg you. Bismarck. So we have 2 people from finance. 1 more to be nominated, senior member administrative. Please, let's nominate the last person and vote immediately. Any hand up? We have 2 men who have been nominated already. Can we have? Okay. Who are you nominating? Who? Mention the person's name. Who? Mrs. Ajabin of the hospital. Good. So we have the 3. And for administrators in the hall, senior members, when I mention the name, you raise your hand. Please, academic, you are not supposed to vote in this. Then we will choose our class prefect. So for administrators in the hall, who would go for Mr. Moses Chikwe? Hands up. How many? We count. Oh, sorry. So is Moses in? Moses, please stand up for everybody to see you. We are electing a class prefect. Moses, please come up here. In fact, all the nominees come up here. I'm sorry. Moses, come, and who? Bismarck. And then Mrs. Ejabin, please, all three, come forward. Hurry up. Let's hurry up. Thank you. Where is Moses? Oh, I have a long-standing fight with him. Okay, so a round of applause for our nominees. So, senior members, administration, please, I'll start with Moses. He was the first nominated person. How many people are voting for him? Hands up. And somebody should help me count. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, is that? Oh, I hear you can influence the vote, so turn around. So let's have the hands clear. I'm counting again. And Daniel, please help me count. 1, 2, 3, 4. 9. Nobody votes twice. The second nominated person was Bismarck. How many people have voted for Bismarck? Hands up. Let's see the hand clear, please. If you are raising your hand, let's see it clearly. 1, 2, 3. 3. And then how many are voting for Mrs. Ejabin? This is unfair. Daniel, I don't think you have to count. There's no need to count. So Mrs. Ejabin is the elected class prefect of Senior Members Administrative. Thank you all for coming. Mrs. Ejabin will conduct the handing over soon, so don't go far. You can sit here. Now we'll do same for Senior Members Academic. We nominate 3 people. You are nominated, you come forward. Who is nominating who? We start now, please. Let's hurry up. Mrs. Linda Ofori. Mrs. Linda Ofori, please come upstage. Prof. Apia, who are you nominating? Nana Vivian Osei. Oh, Hannah Vivian Osei. Okay, please come forward, Anna. Where is she? Is she around? She's not around, but I guess you know her. She's been nominated. Are you saying we shouldn't nominate anybody who is absent? Is that the rule? Okay, so general consensus. Chairman, Professor Bwedi, what is your decision? Yeah, but is anybody online? We'll leave a slot for them. Let them be queued. Please queue online people. We'll get their nomination. Let's get one more from here. Who is nominating who? Prof. Entry. Titus Kofi. A round of applause. Please come forward. Technical team, do we have anybody queued online? Is anybody online? Hello? Okay, we don't have any feed online. So, yes, who are you nominating, please? Dr. Paul Osei Tutu, is he here? Please come forward. Thank you very much. Doc. Good. So we have Titus, we have Linda, and we have Osei Tutu. We are voting. Please stand and face me. How many people are voting for Titus? Oh, sorry. Titus. How many people are voting for him? Hands up. Doctor, help me count. Please, if you are raising your hand, let it be clear. 20. Thank you. How many are voting for Linda? How many? Come again? 80. Mabemu Abu. How many are going for OSA 82, please? Hands up. It's done. Okay, so please face them. Linda Ofori stands elected. So we'll conduct the handing over. And what it means is that we have 2 class prefects who belong to one faction. We see what wisdom is doing. Please come up here. And then outgoing class prefect, Dr. Esmeranda Mafo, and then Mr. Charles Entry. Please come up stage to do the handing over. So, yes, you come. Okay, so what will happen is this. The outgoing class prefect will hand over the source to incoming, and that signifies the change in the baton or the mantle. So let's get that done. First, Dr. Mrs. Esmeralda Mafo, you do yours. So you hand over to her. And then, Mr. Entry, you hand it over to... Thank you very much, our outgone class prefects. Ladies and gentlemen, your new class prefects for summer school. Thank you and congratulations. Please give me my sword. Ladies and gentlemen, some distinguished personalities did a lot of work to make the summer school a success. The main committee was formed, and various subcommittees were also formed. We would want to acknowledge all of them, but this is what I'm going to do. For each of the colleges or the units, I'll mention the name. Do not applaud. When we are done, we applaud all of them. For the main committee, I will invite them upstage for you to see them. So for the subcommittees, representing the College of Health Sciences, we still have Dr. Mrs. Ama Amwesi, Dr. Mrs. Cynthia Amenin Dankwa, Dr. Mrs. Abigail Digi, Mr. Colin Chire, Dr. Millicent Adae, and Ms. Ofebia Asari. For College of Humanities and Social Sciences and Library, Dr. Hannah Vivian Osei, Mr. Edmond Nelson Amasa, Mr. Joseph Intim, Dr. Divine Odame Apia. For College of Agric and Natural Resources, we have Professor Vincent Luga, Dr. Mrs. Joanna B. Esheru, Dr. Nana Ewuji Mensa, Dr. K. Buachi Buedu. For College of Art and Built Environment, which had Development Office, Estates and Maintenance put together, we had Dr. Ebenezer Titus Kofi, Dr. Stephen Techi Apia, Dr. Michael Ni Adi, Dr. Limuel Bologa. College of Engineering, Dr. Richard Opoku, Dr. Mrs. Martina Francisca Beidu, Dr. Yao Mensah Asari, Dr. Jones Ousuchu Messi, Mr. Emmanuel Kofi Eje, Dr. Samuel Andam Akofo, Dr. Eliel Kilson, and Dr. David Atokwansa. For College of Science, We have Dr. F.C. Mills Robertson, Dr. Amma A. Labi, Dr. Bright Kwachi Ewua, Dr. Rosemary O. Janine. Representing Registrars and Basic School, Ms. Ifwa Akon, Mr. Christopher Ado, Mrs. Yvonne Baden, Mrs. Nana Oye Udiez, Mrs. Beatrice Akusua Andrews, Mr. Samuel Ananiche, Mr. Victor Ofuri Amanfo. For Finance, Procurement, and Audit, we have Mrs. Ruby Usuansan, Mr. John Kweku Ajiman. Representing UITS and Security, Mr. Julius Courage Logan, Mr. Anthony Brefo. Representing University Health Services, Dr. Joseph Abusichi, Dr. Mrs. Linda Asari Ejabin Bedu Ado, Ms. Dinah Apia, Mr. Fanuel Selike Asense, Mr. Akwesi Ohini Eji, and Ms. Barbara Sapon. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the people who worked assiduously at the subcommittee level. A loud round of applause to all of them. Now, the main committee. When I call you, you come up stage. Professor Christopher Entry, Dr. Esmeranda Malfo, Dr. Daniel Yao Adedria, Dr. Newman Osafo, Dr. Ama Ejebia Amwesi, Dr. Alexander Boachi Mafo, Dr. Jacob K. Agbenohevi, Dr. Justice Osei Efriye, Dr. Griffith S. Klogo, Dr. Victor Rex Bands, Dr. Solomon S. R. Gidigasu, Mrs. Gladys A. Ade, Mr. Anthony Kofi Bedu, Mr. Bismarck Owusu Edu, Mr. Samson Yabua, Mr. Abdullahi Abubakar, Mr. Charles Owusu Entry, Mr. Abraham Edusei, Mr. Foster Sedem Kwame Dedume, Dr. Daniel Norris Bequin, Mrs. Abigail Jama Tewia is the member secretary. Ladies and gentlemen, all these people were chaired by Professor Nathaniel Owusu Bwedi. So these are the members of the summer school 9th edition, which we are still having. They came up with the theme, worked on logistics, media, sponsorship, everything that made the show a success. Ladies and gentlemen, here they are. Thank you very much for a good job done. We are wrapping up gradually, and we'll take our closing remarks from our foreign delegates who joined us. Ladies and gentlemen, 3 of them will come one after the other. To give us our first closing remark, let's welcome Professor Hans Jürgen Schmidt.
So, is the microphone on? Or, yeah, I hear myself. Thank you for that. So I'm a bit surprised to have invited to the podium, to be honest, but I really appreciate that conference that we have been invited to, and I thank you all the organizers, all our very friendly host who took us around and gave us the opportunity at least to participate. And to be honest, I really wish you the very best success, because sustainability, as I said before, is not an option. It is a question of survival. And with that, we take all of our efforts together, globally and locally here. And so I really appreciate that we have been able to contribute. And I hope we make the best of that. Thank you for your invitation and the opportunity to be here.
Thank you, Professor Schmidt. I now invite Mr. Helmut Steiner to also give us his closing remarks.
Ich möchte mich bei Ihnen ganz herzlich bedanken für Ihre Offenheit, mit der Sie uns begegnet sind. Ich möchte mich ganz herzlich bedanken für die Herzlichkeit, die wir hier erleben konnten.
I'm so happy to be here, and I want to really, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for your openness and the transparency and allowing us to be here as part of this SDG Summer School.
Ich möchte mich auch bedanken, dass Sie meinen Kopf, meinen Verstand inspiriert haben.
I also want to thank you for inspiring my head and my understanding, especially of the SDGs.
Ist jetzt gefüllt, wenn ich nach Hause fahre, mit zahlreichen Ideen und Plänen.
I'm so filled up with a lot of ideas and plans as I set on the way going back home.
Ich möchte auch Danke sagen, dass es Ihnen gelungen ist, in unser Herz einzudringen und Empathie zu erwecken.
I also want to thank you for managing to penetrate our hearts and create empathy.
Ich bin mir sicher, dass gerade das die Nachhaltigkeit bewirken wird, und die werden wir mit nach Deutschland tragen, nach Stuttgart in unsere Heimat.
And that is to me sustainability. And this sustainability that I've learned from you from here is what I'm going to carry back home to Germany, to Stuttgart.
Wir sind ganz sicher, dass wir in einer einzigen Welt leben. Ja, wir alle Menschen sind aufgefordert, von unserem Schöpfer beauftragt, diese Welt auch so zu erhalten, wie er sie uns gegeben hat.
We all come from one world, and so I'm convinced that the creator of this world has given each and every one of us a job to accomplish by keeping this one world safe.
Wir sind sogar verpflichtet, alles zu tun, damit unsere Kinder eine selbstbestimmte, nachhaltige Zukunft haben.
Actually, we have a job. We all must preserve this world for our upcoming children.
Wenn eine so großartige und große Veranstaltung zu Ende geht, dann ist es für mich wichtig, dass man sich entweder beglückwünschen kann und sagen, alles war toll und gut, oder dass wir erkennen, dass wir tun müssen.
Well, when such a big occasion comes to an end, you either have two options, either to say, super, that we actually managed to finish this, or that we realize how much we actually have to do.
Wir müssen uns zu einer bewussten Entscheidung, zu einer Veränderung durchringen oder durchtragen lassen.
We all have to go through certain changes.
Für eine nachhaltige, umfassende Veränderung mit mehr Miteinander, mit mehr Gemeinwohl, mit mehr ökologischem Bewusstsein und mit mehr Nachhaltigkeit.
For a sustainable living together, for an ecological living together, for a sustainable forwardness.
Und das Ganze ist nicht damit getan, dass wir hier uns das gegenseitig versprechen, sondern es ist nur damit getan, wenn wir jetzt nach Hause gehen und es auch wirklich tun.
Well, it's not just about talking about it, we actually must live it. When we all live here and go home, we all have to try and live this sustainability.
Ich baue darauf, und ich rechne auch damit, dass Sie alles das tatsächlich auch tun werden. Wir jedenfalls sind frohen Mutes und glauben, dass wir das umsetzen werden.
Well, I hope that you do your best. For one, I'll start with my best.
Erich Kästner hat einmal gesagt, es gibt nichts Gutes, außer man tut es.
Erich Kästner said, there is nothing good unless one starts to do it.
Ich möchte noch eins draufsetzen und sagen, es ist noch besser, wenn wir es mit Freude und Begeisterung tun, denn dann wird es uns auch gelingen.
Best would be if we actually do it with love and joy. Then we can do it well.
Wir jedenfalls, die Aurelia und die Farnetz GmbH, wollen uns als Partner anbieten. Wir wollen tun, wir haben zugehört, wir können etwas bieten und können etwas leisten und wir würden uns freuen, wenn Sie wollen.
Well, we as Aurelia and Farnetz GmbH, we really want to start. We want to do something with you and we are really happy to partner with you and move forward.
Wir freuen uns auf das Tun.
We are hoping to really start doing and we are happy to start doing. Thank you.
Dankeschön.
Thank you very much, Professor Steiner. I believe when you started, a couple of people went like, hey, are we safe? But when your interpreter came in, then we settled. But I can assure you that even if you are not come with the interpreter, we will still have be okay because no matter what, you would have still said you were happy to join us anyway. Thank you. To give us our last closing remark, let's welcome Mrs. Matilda Frida Marfo. Oh. Would you need me to interpret yours as well?
I'll try my best if I can have this. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed, to me, or to us, as Clean Africa FAO, this is the beginning of a whole institutional approach to the SDGs. Personally, I've been amazed at what the senior members and the senior staff can do. The suggestions made, the opinions expressed to improve KNUST sustainably is amazing. Most amazingly to me, my heart melts with full joy to see that amidst COVID-19, we could accomplish this. Who could imagine this last year by this time. Can we clap for that? Indeed, we commend KNUST for the protocols observed, the washing basins outside, the hand sanitizers that have been provided all throughout, the masks that each and everyone is wearing, the social distancing. If I can see that this room could take in every space a second chair, and yet we've made sure that everyone goes out of here safe. Let us really indeed clap for that. Also, I'm indeed so happy to talk about the hybrid format that you've provided. I believe this is all because COVID came in. So people from home who are sick, those who are not been able to join because of the spaces, and in fact, those abroad are able to join in because we now have a hybrid format. Thank you so much. Well, I want to thank most especially the organizing committee chaired by Professor Boedi that worked so tiringly with us. Miss Abigail, you did a wonderful job. We really indeed appreciate you all. The logistic committee, the programs committee, I don't know, the transport officer did a wonderful job to get our guests from the airport to Accra, from Accra to Kumasi, and to make sure that they are here and they are staying comfortable. I really want to thank you on behalf of all our guests. You did a wonderful job. Thank you so much. Some key things, though, I would like us to take us with. To me, very important is the partnerships. The partnerships. Global South, Global North. As I mentioned in my first speech on the first day, network, network, network. Some of the universities we are found joining us from outside Ghana, we have gotten to know them just out of networks. So the networks make it all, department to department, faculty to faculty, school to school, university to university. We have members here from Valley View University. We have members here from UENR. We have other universities from Ghana that are joining us. Please, let us network. Also, each one teach one. There is always something we can learn. I can learn from you, you can learn from me, just like it has been stretched. The SDGs should link always, as we practice them in our departments, the economic prosperity, the social inclusiveness, and of course, the environmental protection. Most important of all the SDGs to me is leaving no one behind. Some of the recommendations and observations that we noticed during the summer school. We felt that as foreigners, it would have been nice to have maybe the program, not only printed in the booklets, but also on maybe A2 formats and pasted, for example, at the Great Hall. So when I get out here, I know where to go, because not everybody may have that program. Another was to think that perhaps for us moving in a city, KNUST as a city, we needed to know how do I go from one building to another? Maybe a map next time would help for those who do not know the campus to know if I'm standing at the Great Hall, how do I get to the engineering guest house to eat my food? Can I take a walk if the bus is not coming? That way I'm even sustainable. So some of that would really help, like a folded map at the back of the program to direct those who do not know the campus and coming from outside. I also felt that we could have had a lot more registrations online if the link was provided perhaps a week or two before, since it doesn't expire, so that people can register with their names, their institutions, and where they come from, and their departments, so we can help to direct them to the right departments. I also felt that because it's about the SDGs, maybe if it is not about COVID next time, we could increase the social networks by not packaging our food in plastic containers, but perhaps having long tables where we can sit outside and eat together, and that way we connect and increase the networking with each other. After all, that is sustainability anyway, if we reduce the plastics. And of course, it's about living what we say and not just saying what we don't do. Having said that, I strongly believe that where there is a will, there is also a way. So, this summer school at KNUST has made a start in the decentralized discussions at the faculties during the summer school. Also, a start in the whole institutional approach of the SDGs. And I tell you, this is a mark not only in Ghana, not only in Africa, but globally. Today, we are not only collaborating with our different universities and faculties, but we are also collaborating with civil society and industry. And that I commend my colleague who just spoke before. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your engagement. And thank you for the ideas, for the opinions. We are taking home lots of memories and a landmark. I congratulate our colleagues from B, like Burundi. I wish they could stand and we see them. B, like Burundi universities. Yes. Please wave so everybody can see. Thank you. I congratulate our colleagues that joined us from a University of Yaoundé, C, like Cameroon. Please stand and let's see. Yes. Thank you so much. And of course, our colleagues that came from G, like Germany. Please stand and wave so we can see. Anybody from Germany here? I'm thinking, anybody from Germany here? Oh, please stand and wave so everybody can see who you are. Thank you. Oh, can you abstain? Super. Also, we have colleagues from Namibia, from the University of Science and Technology in Namibia. Thank you. And last but not least, from Z, like Zambia. Z, like Zambia. Thank you so much. And I bet K, like KNUST, in G, like Ghana, everybody is here. We please commend you for being here. And as we close here, I invite you to the Incubation Hub, the museum, to visit and see a company that has been built on sustainable principles, what they do, and how you can make use of their work. We want to state that we thank the state of Baden-Württemberg of helping us making this happen. With this, a big vote of thanks to you, all ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed, of course, because without you, it would not be possible to make this a start of a whole institutional approach. Remember, Clean Africa is promising prizes in a year from today, bronze, silver, and of course gold, for the winners of the summer school. We are looking forward to seeing the approaches that you've devised. So, looking forward to all of this, I say a big thank you.
A round of applause for Mrs. Mafo. Thank you. The Minister for Parliamentary Affairs is also the MP for Suame. He joined us through virtual means for the opening ceremony, for the love he has for the university and for the program. He's come in person for the closing ceremony. With a round of applause, shall we please welcome Honorable Osei Mensah Bonsu for his address.
This is Director of Programs. I believe that sufficiently socially distanced to be able to remove my mask and say a few words. Members of the university community, what a rare opportunity to be here with you today. As was mentioned earlier, at the outset of these events, I happened to have been outside. I returned just 3 days ago, and I was invited to be with you at the closing ceremony. You are engaged in the 9th summer school, the theme of which I'm told is actualizing the Sustainable Development Goals. That indeed should gladden the hearts of all of us. I'm informed that the purpose of the summer school is to build the capacity of the leadership of the university community in the business of making our planet thrive for the generations of today and indeed the generations of tomorrow and the day after tomorrow. That is what the Sustainable Development Goals is all about. And that is what good democratic governance should also lead to. Indeed, the vision of governance, and indeed I'm talking about governance in Ghana, is encapsulated in the preamble of our 1992 Constitution. And you permit me to read the preamble of the 1992 Constitution. It provides, "We the people of Ghana, in exercise of our natural and inalienable right to establish a framework of government which shall secure for ourselves and posterity the blessings of liberty, equality of opportunity, and prosperity." And then it goes on. We are saying that we are giving ourselves a framework of government which shall secure for ourselves and posterity, that is the generations of tomorrow and the days after tomorrow, the blessings of liberty, equality of opportunity, and prosperity. That indeed encapsulates the principles of sustainable development. So why should we wait for the United Nations to strand out the various facets of sustainable development before our attention is called to what we ought to do as a nation? All this while, Ghana indeed has bought into the concept of sustainable development by the referendum that we held to adopt the 1992 Constitution. And I thought that we didn't need to really sit down for us, our attention to be drawn to the fact that we need to sustainably develop our environment. The effort in sustainable development should be driven by technology. And that is why I'm happy to be counted as one of the products of a university called University of Science and Technology, now Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. The effort in sustainable development should be driven by technology, whether in agriculture, in industry, in health, in communication, in housing, in controlling the environment, in infrastructure development and delivery, and above all, in education. In short, in every facet of our national existence, we require to have a focus that will ensure sustainable development. If the SDGs should be achieved, effective cooperation and collaboration must be built between politicians and the academia. And that's why I'm so excited at what I'm beholding here today. It should also involve collaboration between and amongst the various stakeholders in various countries. And that's why I'm again excited to see representatives from various universities from across the length and breadth of Africa. My hope is that we here will task the leaders in the various enclaves to link up virtually on a daily basis so that we don't operate in silos. Because even if here on the university campus we are operating individually and in silos, we can't build the synergies required of us to really expand our frontiers to affect the citizenry, even here in Ghana, and perhaps even on the community, in the community that we thrive as Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. We've been told and learned that monitoring and evaluation should help us to identify the weaknesses that may be embedded in the system that we may not be able to identify at the very outset. So we need to cyclically, on a daily basis, review the methods that we are employing, the issues that we have set out to accomplish. I wish all of us here in this endeavor, especially the organizers, very well, and I pray that what has been begun today will bear good fruits, not only for the university, but also for the entirety of the country, and indeed for Africa as a whole. God bless us all. I thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Our Vice-Chancellor sends her apologies for not being able to be here. She is attending to a very critical assignment in Accra. But to give us the closing remarks on behalf of the Vice-Chancellor, please let's welcome the Provost of the College of Art and Built Environment, Professor Tia Bugri.
Thank you very much, Coordinator. I think before I go on to represent the Vice-Chancellor as has been assigned me, I would want to make a few remarks. Indeed, this 9th summer school of KNUST has been quintessential in nature and exquisitely delivered. I have actually come to this conclusion by an exploration of all that has happened over the 3-day period, and then analyzing the conclusions that have been drawn from the various colleges as well. Indeed, when the UN Secretary General Perez decided to appoint the former Prime Minister of Norway, Gro Harlem Brundtland, in 1983, to head the World Commission on the Environment, which authored that blueprint for sustainable development published in 1987, when I heard Mrs. Mafu talk so passionately about sustainable development and the SDGs, I felt like it wasn't a surprise that a lady was chosen, and had she been around at that time, but not younger, she probably would have been the one that would have been chosen. And I would want us to applaud her for that. Indeed, that 1987 publication by Oxford University Press indicated that as far as the environment is concerned, it is where we live. And in the context of sustainable development, it is what we humans do, either by our actions or inactions, towards the attainment of an enhanced quality of life, which is in respect of the same environment that it is all about. So what do we draw from these two strands? They are so interconnected, they are intricately related, and one cannot be taken from the other without the other suffering unduly. Indeed, it's like having Siamese twins, and then medically, it is impossible to separate them. They must support each other to enhance their existence. I want to thank everybody before even I get on to my task, but that is just what I thought I should reiterate. Honorable Minister of Parliamentary Affairs, Provost of Colleges, Executive Director, Clean Africa, Directors and Deans, Heads of Department, staff of KNUST and affiliate institutions, our foreign partners, charity sponsors and stakeholders, media personnel, ladies and gentlemen. Indeed, it's been told you my Vice-Chancellor has traveled to attend to another important occasion, and it has fallen on me to give her closing remarks as follows. All too soon, we have come to the end of a very engaging and exciting summer school, which has been one of a kind. This summer school, under the theme SDGs and universities, actions towards KNUST's mandate at 70 and beyond, has been unique in the sense that for the first time, we decentralized the colleges and also used the hybrid approach where participants had the option of either joining in person or online. The feedback I have received from the various units has been very positive, and I would like to congratulate the Planning Committee and the Quality Assurance Planning Unit for a great work done. I think I would like that to be applauded. One thing which has been re-echoed over and over again is the fact that the attainment of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals is a collective responsibility, and we all must collaborate to ensure we achieve them to enhance the quality of life of the human person. As I indicated in my opening address, I am expecting the Planning Committee to submit a report to my office through the head of Quality Assurance and Planning Unit, detailing steps we need to take as an institution to contribute to the attainment of the SDGs. I am expecting the Quality Assurance Unit to set up a desk to monitor progress and produce annual reports of how we are faring in the attainment of the SDGs. This report must be part of every summer school moving forward. The summer school has been a wake-up call for all of us, and I am hoping that we work closely together in the 9 years ahead of us to achieve the SDGs in record time. Indeed, here I want to pose a question. Do we see the attainment of the SDGs as a sustainable development concept differently if that were in the course of millennia as against if it is with regard to an existential threat? I think that it is the latter, and we need to hasten and act very concertedly. It is not by chance the Minister for Parliamentary Affairs was with us virtually at the opening and is in person with us at this closing. It is my hope that this gesture will translate to stronger collaboration between government and academia in working towards the attainment of the SDGs. Here, Professor Misiga of University of Burundi stated very, very loudly that if you went around looking at the role of research in universities, look no further than the budgets of these particular institutions as research allocations. And that, to me, reflects even at the national level when it comes to what is it that we dedicate as our gross domestic product towards research. I'm sure the Honorable Minister is hearing us loud and clear, and we will see improvements to that very soon. Before I take my seat, let me express my deepest appreciation and that of the entire university to Clean Africa and our friends from the universities in Africa and Germany for participating in this extraordinary event. We are grateful for the sponsorship and look forward to working closely together in future schools. I wish you a safe journey back home and encourage you to take a bit of KNUST and Ghana with you as you return home. With these words, I declare on behalf of the Vice Chancellor the 9th Summer School of KNUST duly closed. Thank you, and God bless us all.
Maybe they didn't want us to sing along, so they took the lead to play. The university turns 70 this year. Established in 1951, we are in the year 2021. We're asking all of you to look forward to the launch of the 70th anniversary and the subsequent activities that have been lined up for the 70th anniversary celebrations. The Trans and Interdisciplinary Exhibition and launch of Sekadam at KI Hub at our museum right opposite the printing press shall take place immediately after this session. So the Provost of the College of Engineering, the partners, and all of us are invited to the museum to execute that project. Thank you very much. Shall we please rise for the closing prayer to be said by Reverend Dr. J.W. Echampon, our Protestant chaplain.
Let us pray. Almighty and ever-living God, it is meet and right for us to continue to give you praise and thanks for your goodness and mercy towards us. Indeed, you are the Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. We give you all the glory and the praise for the conception of the idea of a summer school, and we bless your name for this year's summer school, which is the 9th in the series. Bless your name for all the input that has gone into it to make it what it has been. We give you glory for the planners, and we thank you for all the facilitators We thank you for all the resources you made available to make this a reality. We bless your name for the theme we had to engage in this year. Indeed, you are the God of life, and all the SDGs are meant to facilitate good life. You said you came to give life that we may have it even more abundantly. These are supposed to enhance abundant life for us in the universe. Even as by your grace, we have been able to come up with intentions and ideas moving forward. We pray. Without your help and assistance, without your encouragement and desire, we cannot do it. We pray that may these decisions never remain on paper, but be put into action, so that not only in this university, but also our life as a nation will be enhanced and to the glory of your name globally. We pray, O God, asking that even as our partners and friends join us from outside this country as they travel back, may you grant them safe journeys back home. And we pray for ourselves, all of us, take us safely back, even as we bring this program to an end and go back to our usual assignments and responsibilities. We bless your name for blessing us as a university. We bless you for blessing us as a nation. We trust that your goodness and your mercies will continue to be with us and make us even greater and stronger. Thank you for hearing our prayers, because you have asked for this and many more through Christ Jesus our Lord. Amen.
Thank you very much, Basic School Band, for your wonderful performance. We acknowledge our friends who joined us online for the whole program. Let's remain standing for the reception of the minister, our special guests and partners, and then we follow suit. Thank you all for coming once again. Please do well to fill the evaluation forms sent to you via text. The online evaluation forms as you go. Take some few minutes and fill them up for us. Thank you very much.